Hello, I'm Don Van Sant with Snellville Heating and Air. I'd like to thank you for your support all these years, and I'm pleased to announce that we're adding plumbing to our list of services. Any of our loyal customers in Walton County that uses our plumbing service during the months of April and May will receive a 10% discount. Again, I'm Don Van Sant with Snellville Heating and Air, 770-982-9800.
Lennox is more than just a name. We lead the way in home comfort products. Our invention of the first forced air furnace back in 1895 changed the way America lives.
Snellville Heating and Air is a Lennox premier dealer.
That means they're trained and evaluated to meet the highest standards in the industry. Lennox continues to lead with high-efficiency technology and superior equipment.
And it's all backed by Snellville Heating and Air.
Some of the best people in the business. Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
And Brian Sanders.
Yes, I tell you what, getting ready.
The wrong way.
I tell you, I hadn't seen him in a while. Came in to do a little riding, did you?
That's right. Yes. Good morning. I'm Paul Jones. I'm the director of the Tony Serrano Century Ride. It's a ride that raises funds for bicycling safety. We are here every spring in Monroe. We have about 700 riders come out. And every year it's the same weekend as the Masters Golf Tournament, so you always know when we're going to be in town. Appreciate folks coming out. The ride starts off at 8:30 in the morning. It goes right down Broad Street through the middle of Monroe, so if you want to see a big parade, come on out and see about 700 colorfully dressed cyclists right down Main Street.
Here's some more of the cyclists warming up for the Tony Serrano bike ride. This is a very big ride. I think it's one of the largest anywhere around. I know it's the largest in Walton County, and a lot of people here.
As you can see, there is a big turnout here for the Easter egg drop here in Social Circle.
Hi, I'm Preston Piper with the Avenue Church. I do the audio and a volunteer there. We're out here at the annual egg drop. It's our 4th year doing it, and we're excited to be out here serving Social Circle community. We have 3 different drops here today, one at 12, one at 12:40, and 12:40 based on age groups. And we're just out here having fun. We're going to have the helicopter come by, drop a bunch of eggs, and have the kids have a blast, go getting them a piece of candy. We've got concessions here that people are getting. We've got the helicopter arriving, and music and jumpies. Everybody's having a good time. This is something that's put on by the Avenue Church. We do it as a outreach and just wanting to get the community together and have a good time around Easter. We do have Easter experiences next week for the Avenue Church at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Sunday we've got one at 10 and 11:30 a.m. Having a great time out here, and love to see you next week.
Just a heads up, if you're registered and have your student or child in a wristband, careful, careful, careful.
This is the first group lining up for the egg drop. You see there's quite a few children.
Once you enter, parents.
Now they're letting the parents and the children in for the first group. And they will stand by the fence. The helicopter will fly over and drop the eggs, and then they will be given a countdown, and the children will then go pick up the eggs. Looks like the kids have had a ball picking up the Easter eggs. As you can see, it was just like a giant vacuum cleaner coming through there picking up all the eggs. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment, and we're here on the Court Square, downtown Monroe, for the Passion Walk that is held here each year. This is Friday the 18th of April, and as you can see, the people are gathering around here, and we're fixing to start the Passion Walk.
Cross, carrying large crosses and remembering Jesus' sad journey from the Praetorium where he was condemned by Pontius Pilate to the hill of Golgotha, where the Romans put him to death on the cross. There is something healing in the walk and in remembering. Seeing Jesus be with his sorrowful mother, who Jesus will give us as our mother. Hearing the weeping women of Jerusalem and hearing the sound of the nails ring it powerfully to mind, to heart, and make it achingly present. In Christ there is no east or west, in him no north or south. We are Protestants and Catholic, white, black, Asian, African, European, Latino, men, women, adults, and children. We come to honor our Savior, who gave his life as a ransom for the many, and is head of his body, the church. We gather for the same reasons Christians have always gathered, to remember and to give thanks.
Station 1. Jesus is condemned to death on the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Jesus, you stand all alone before Pilate. Nobody speaks up for you. Nobody helps defend you. You devoted your entire life to helping others, listening to the smallest ones, caring for those who were ignored by others. They don't seem to remember that as they prepare to put you to death.
As a child, sometimes I feel alone. Sometimes I feel that others don't stand up for me and defend me when I'm afraid. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm treated fairly, especially if I'm scolded or corrected.
As an adult, sometimes I feel abandoned and afraid as well. Sometimes I too feel like I am treated unfairly or blamed for things unfairly. I have a hard time when people criticize me at home or at work. Help me be grateful for what you did for me. Help me to accept criticism and unfairness as you did and not complain. Help me pray for those who have hurt me.
Let us pray. God, many times people don't seem to understand me. Sometimes too, I feel like the criticism of others is unfair. Help me accept the mistakes of others as you accept me when I make mistakes. Help me be big enough to ask forgiveness for the mistakes I make and to forgive as Jesus did. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Jesus accepts his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Jesus, as you accepted your cross, you knew you would carry it to your death on Calvary. You knew it wouldn't be easy, but you accepted it and carried it just the same.
As a child, sometimes I don't like the problems that come my way. Sometimes I try to get others to take care of them or solve them for me. Sometimes I become upset and crabby when I'm asked to do even the smallest things to help others.
As an adult, sometimes I feel like I am not appreciated. Sometimes I feel as if I accept more responsibility than I need to. I can feel sorry for myself, even though the crosses others carry are much larger than my own. In my self-pity, I don't reach out for help.
Let us pray. God, my problems may seem small to those around me, but you know how hard they are for me to carry sometimes. Help me remember and pray for those who are handicapped and those whose problems are severe. When I'm tempted to complain, help me remember Jesus and the cross he carried for me. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Allen. I'm a registered veterinary technician at Monroe Veterinary Clinic, and today I'm going to talk to you about heartworms, primarily in dogs, and what you can do to prevent heartworm disease in your pet. And so we do have some weather changes that are occurring right now. Things are warming up, and as you know, in the southeast we have a pretty large population of mosquitoes that hatch every spring and remain summer through almost fall. So what we want to do is make sure that everybody is aware of how your dog can get heartworms. And most of the time when people think about worms, they think about intestinal worms, and those are dangerous, but heartworms are dangerous too. And they get those from mosquitoes. So what happens is the infected mosquito actually bites the dog and gives them kind of a larva, a small baby form of the heartworm. It travels through the tissues and then into the bloodstream. And then what happens is that worm develops in the heart valve. They are able to reproduce and grow larger. And then what happens is it causes congestive heart failure if it's not prevented. So what you want to do is make sure that your dog is testing negative yearly for heartworm disease. It's a simple test. It takes 3 drops of blood, and usually it is run within 10 minutes or so on site at the veterinary clinic. And after we make sure that the dog is negative, we would like to talk to you about what would be a good preventative to put your dog on a monthly basis. There's so many different ones to choose from, and everybody's needs are individual. It depends on your environment. Do you live out in the country? Do you live in a neighborhood? Does your dog travel with you often? All those things are in consideration when we pick out a product for you. The heartworm preventions, most heartworm preventions actually cover some intestinal parasites as well, such as roundworms, hookworms, whipworms, things like that. So it's an added benefit to preventing heartworm disease in your dog to also make sure that they're covered for intestinal protection as well. So after we do that and we talk about your environment and place your dog on a heartworm prevention, it's you give that prevention once a month to ensure that they remain negative for heartworm disease. And so those are just some things to think of when you are getting ready for summer and spring. We do recommend that you keep your dog on heartworm prevention 12 months out of the year, just because we do live in an environment that it warms up quickly and mosquitoes will repopulate very quickly and be back in the environment before you know it. So just some things to think about, and great ways to keep your dog healthy and happy and have him around for him or her around for a long time.
Hi there, I'm Emily Russell, Director of Marketing and Business Development at Cleary Regional Medical Center. Today I'm thrilled to have with me our president of our auxiliary for our hospital, affectionately called our Blue Angels, Miss Gordenia Murdoch, who is acting as our president currently. Miss Gordenia, how long have you been affiliated with the hospital and volunteering?
Currently, approximately 5 years.
Wonderful. These ladies and gentlemen keep our hospital running smoothly, everything from helping us take patients from one place to another, to just helping us with everyday activities that we have going on, stocking supplies, or just bringing a little bit of cheer to our patients. Overall, how many Blue Angels do we currently have?
We have 42 right now.
Wonderful. So 42 people who just give of their time, and we just ask that they generally give, what's the minimum?
Approximately, we ask 4 hours a week.
Okay,
they
so
can
very
work
doable.
more. We do have some that are working more than that.
And is there weekend availability for volunteering?
if you would like to. Normally we do not have them except for the gift shop. It is open a half a day on Saturday.
Very good. And the really great thing about our auxiliary here is that the proceeds that they make in our gift shop, they actually turn around and give that back to our community, whether it's to the medical community and through the hospital, or whether it's to different nonprofit associations all throughout Walton County. Most recently, we were really blessed here at Clearview for them to purchase a hypothermia machine for us in the ER. Now, we won't go into all the specifics of what that exactly does, because I don't entirely know, but we're so grateful for these men and women that give of their time every single day, day in and day out, to make our hospital successful and our community successful. So if someone is interested in becoming a volunteer, who can they get in touch with, and how do they go about that?
What they need to do is come to the front desk, and we will give them this application. They can fill it out, bring it back to the front desk, and our membership person, Virginia Crawford, will get in touch with them, and she will go from there with it.
Wonderful. So there's no stipulations or anything like that?
The minimum age, you have to be 18 and over.
Okay, fantastic. So a lot of people that may be out there that would be eligible that just have a little extra time to give, and maybe they're interested in the medical profession, or maybe they're not. We have clerical work as well, administrative things that don't require any sort of patient contact or anything like that. So if you are not already plugged into a community organization and you think that serving in the Hospital Auxiliary of the Blue Angels here at Clearview is something for you, don't hesitate to come up and see us at the front desk and get yourself an application. So thank you so much for joining me, Ms. Gordania.
Welcome.
In other news going on at Clearview, we are ramping up our volunteer program for the summer. Those are for students ages 14 to 18 that are interested in the medical profession and want to come and spend 6 weeks with us during the summer, doing everything from administrative and clerical duties all the way to some patient care, helping us take care of patients, making sure that they have everything that they need. So if you're interested in getting information on that, you can call our marketing department at 770-267-1825, or students, you can see your school counselors. They should have those applications. Lastly, we are getting ready for a health fair that is coming up on Saturday, May the 3rd, and that will be a senior extra health fair geared towards seniors, connecting them to resources in the community, also providing free screenings for people. If you want information on that, you can visit our website to get more information. That will be on the first Saturday in May from 8 a.m. to noon. We'll have snacks, giveaways, door prizes, all sorts of great things. We would love to see you out in the community for that, just to make sure that we have given you all the resources that you need to keep you and your family happy and healthy. So thank you as always for letting us provide care for you and your community here at Clearview. We appreciate the opportunity, and we extend the opportunity for you and your family to be involved through either our hospital auxiliary or our volunteer program or any of our upcoming community events. Thank you so much.
Hello Walton County, this is Kevin Little with the Chairman's Report, Channel 16, Walton Entertainment. Spring is here, finally. We may still have a few more cold days before summer or spring, but it's been 70 to 80 over the last few days, and that brings us into road paving season and grass growing season, and just brings things into activities. And so as I continue to stand in front of the Walton County map and show you what's going on, I do first want to touch base with the Charlotte Rowell. There's been a lot of questions and concerns about the new design of Charlotte Rowell, where you have always been able to come down by Chick-fil-A and just zip right on to 78 Highway. Now you have to come through that S curve there, and a lot of folks don't like that. The reason that was designed that way is because Charlotte Rowell Boulevard is a north-south road. You'll be able to come from, let's just say, the Monroe High School or Board of Education down this Charlotte Rowell, and you'll be able to turn left and go out 78 Highway toward Athens. And so that's the reason that S curve is in there, because you'll be able to come down. If you're a tractor trailer or whatever, you had to have enough turning movement to be able to turn there. And so now if you're coming out Spring Street or you're coming down to get on to 78, you'll just you have to make that curve. And I know a tractor trailer truck turned over there, but it's posted at 20 miles an hour, and as time goes on you'll get used to that transition. So that was one of the projects, but that's going to really give some traffic relief right here at the Highway 11 bridges on that northern side of town, because that area really couldn't be expanded to get it wide enough to get traffic signals there, so it'll give people the opportunities to go north from there. We will also be doing a lot of road paving throughout the county this summer. We usually spend about $2 million a summer resurfacing and paving roads, and some roads this year are going to be worse because of the hard winter that we've had. The roads in the wintertime have water in them, and when they freeze and you run over them with a car, it creates that alligator cracking, which in turn turns into a pothole, and you'll see that along the way when you see the road cracking up and coming apart. I know 78 highway from Monroe to Athens is in pretty bad shape, and they're going to have to address that. Georgia DOT will. But grass is going to start growing, limbs are going to block your views, and if any of those are out there, you make sure you give us a call where we can protect you and the safety of traveling public and there. Also, Steve Chandler, our road superintendent, wanted me to advise you, the citizens, that we have a person that goes around and picks up dead animals off the side of the road. They want you to immediately make that call. If you see it on the way to work or on the way to school in the morning time, please call 911, and they'll notify our people, or call 267-1350 at the road department, and they will get that person out there. As you know, the longer that something's out in the hot sun or whatever, it breaks it down and makes it hard to remove. So the earlier we can get to those dead animals, the better off the person that's doing it, and the best for you, the citizen. And so please do that if you will. I also want to talk just a little bit. I've never really been one to draw any attention a lot, but the Georgia Trend magazine, I'm first vice president of ACCG, and I will be becoming president on April 14th. I will be sworn in by the governor of the state of Georgia, Nathan Deal, at 12 o'clock on April the 14th. I'll be president of ACCG. This is 100 years of the organization. This is the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia. And it's quite an honor. I'm very humbled to be elected by my peers to be president, and I look forward to being a good spokesman for Georgia. I'll be in several travel ventures on behalf of Georgia as part of this organization. I have several ideas that I'm going to try to make things better in Georgia. And one of the things that I'm going to be bringing forward is similar to the DARE program or the CHAMPS program. I want to work on what does your county do for you. I want to be able to teach middle school or younger children what actually the county governments do for them in their counties. And as a whole, the general public does not know exactly what their county government does for them. And so this is going to be one of my goals as president, to be able to start a program that will be able to start teaching the youth, and maybe they can teach their parents, or as we go on, maybe we can get it into an adulthood, because you really don't know. All you know is you pay property taxes, and you really don't exactly know what you get back, and that's going to be one of my goals as president. But again, I'm really humbled to be able to be president of the association as great as the Georgia Association of Counties. And I look forward to updating you on what's going to be going on in the state of Georgia, but I'm also going to be taking care of Walton County. If you have any questions or concerns, please give me a call at 770-267-1316. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And today, my lovely guest is Miss Patrice Broughton with the City of Monroe. She's new to the City of Monroe. You may have known her previously from the Boys and Girls Club of Walton County. But Patrice has switched roles and is wearing a different hat now. So Patrice, tell us what you do for the City of Monroe.
My title is a mouthful, but I am the Customer Community Relations Liaison. Basically, what I do is I help the customers if they have concerns, if they're coming up to City Hall, and I also manage the websites, the social networking sites, and I do marketing for the City of Monroe as well.
That sounds like a big job.
It is, but it's been fun. I've learned a lot so far. In my position, I've only been there for about 2 months, but I'm definitely learning and I'm enjoying myself.
Good, good. Well, with the recent events and changes with utilities, I know we've all faced those, whether we're with Walton EMC or Monroe Utilities. Can you tell us how you've been able to help residents of the city of Monroe?
Well, in light of recent events concerning the utility bills, I know a lot of people saw an increase in their utility bills in the months of January and February due to the cold weather that we had. People came up and they voiced their opinions and their concerns. So what I did, I reached out to the community and we had a workshop. And at that workshop, we had a presentation on understanding utilities, how the utilities are calculated, and how, you can save energy and conserve energy at home to, save money in the end on your utilities bill. So, we think it went so well. We think we're going to continue that, and we're hoping that we get crowds out to those meetings so that they can understand what's going on. And when they pick up their utility bills at the end of the month, they know what they're reading, they know how to read it, and they know what questions to ask so that they can ask the right questions so they can save a little bit of money.
Well, I know you spoke at my partnership meeting earlier this week, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I'm guilty of this myself. If it's cold in the house, I tend to walk over to that little thermostat on the wall and flip it up if I get a little cold. And we're not supposed to do that, are we?
No, you're not supposed to do that. The key temperature or the magic number is 68 degrees. You keep your thermostat at 68 degrees in the wintertime, and your thermostat, it'll keep your house pretty warm, and 68 degrees is pretty comfortable, especially when it's 7 degrees outside like it was back in January.
Right.
Moving your thermostat up and down causes your heating unit to work harder, and if it's colder outside and it's below 32 degrees, and if you've got your thermostat jacked all the way up to 75, then your heating unit's going to work really hard to keep your house at 75 degrees. So what I've learned is I'll turn the thermostat down and keep it at between 68 and 70 degrees, and instead of walking around the house in t-shirts, I'll put on sweatpants and socks to make myself just a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
That way you're not using so much energy with your heating unit.
Okay. Well, I know you said you had a workshop already, and have you already scheduled another one, or are you in the works to plan another one? Or?
We are in the works of planning one. We're hoping that we can have it in May, because if we don't educate our customers now, we'll have the same situation in June and July when it's 100 degrees outside and people have got their thermostats turned all the way down to 50 degrees because they want to be cooler in their home. So we're going to have a workshop just to let the customers know, the residents know, the proper way to set your temperatures and things you can do outside of setting your thermostat, like having your ceiling fans running and moving the air around the rooms to keep the homes cooler in the summer. So we're hoping that in late May, maybe early June, that we'll have that workshop going.
Well, that sounds good. And we always, with our families here at the partnership that we work with, they have questions, and so it's good to have someone to refer them to. So if someone couldn't attend the workshop and they needed to contact you on an individual basis, how would they go about finding you, contacting you?
Well, we do have a website, monroega.com, and on that website there is an inquiries page where you can email anyone at the city. My email address is listed on there. You can always follow us or on Facebook or like us on Twitter. I am the person that updates those social networking sites, so if you send me a direct message on there, I'm able to get back with you as well. I do have a direct extension at the city, and my number is 770-266-5330. So, anyone is able to call up and reach me. If they have any questions and they feel like they want to come up to the city, they can always come up to the city as well. I'm housed on the second floor, and they can always make an appointment, and then I can put them on schedule and we can go over some things.
Sounds great. I mean, there's no reason for anybody not to have their questions answered. So, anything else you'd like to share about the utilities or anything else going on at the City of Monroe?
Well, I encourage everyone to, go online if they have that capability. Monroe downtown is always very active and is always doing events, and they are a part of the city. And we have a great downtown director. Her name's Sadie Crossick, and she does a lot for the City of Monroe as well. So we do have some events coming up. So, I encourage everyone to take a look at that calendar and come out and have some fun with us.
Yeah, I noticed this morning as I sent out some information by email, the farmers market starts May 10th, and that's in downtown Monroe, and that's always a fun event for so many families. And even people outside of Walton County come to the farmers market, local produce and vegetables and stuff. And also in conjunction with that event that day, I think they're having a summer activities fair thing, or
they're having a summer kids activity fair, and what it is the local agencies in and around Monroe that offer activities during the summer for kids. They set up booths and they give out information so that if someone wants to sign their kids up for a summer camp, they can get that information there and have all of those people in one place. There'll also be food and games, so we encourage everyone to come out. The farmers market usually starts at 8 and goes until 12, and they have some great kettle corn at that farmers market. So if you like kettle corn, definitely come out that morning and buy you some. It's the best kettle corn I've ever tasted.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll have to try that.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
It is fun, and I know the concerts on Friday nights will start soon as well. So much going on in downtown Monroe and with the Monroe Utilities, so much helpful information.
Yes, ma'am.
If you ever have questions for us here at the partnership, we can direct you to the different resources in Monroe and Walton County. So please feel free to call us. Our number here is 770-207-6060. And Patrice, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, thank you for watching.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful in the Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I wanted to talk a little bit about some things that's been going on here at the center. Recently we've done a program at Harmony Elementary, and we want to thank all the school officials there for having us at the school, and just to let them know it's something we really enjoy doing. And to let all the other school officials that may be watching, to let them know that we are available and getting into the schools and educating our school children on the importance of recycling and conservation is why we're here, and it's what we really enjoy doing. So just know that we are a resource here, and we'd really love to come talk to the kids and do that educating. Some other things that's been going on, of course, we're gearing up for our document destruction. We've got the flyers in, and they're being circulated, and we've got our banners in, and those are being put up to advertise the event. And we just encourage all of you guys to come out and get rid of any documents you have, and just remember what we take will be 2 banker boxes of any documents you'd like to have shredded, and anything over those 2 boxes we will accept, but Lindsay Company that's doing the document destruction with us requires that we charge $5 per box for anything over 2 boxes. So just keep that in mind. And I also want to encourage everyone that comes in on that day to bring any of your lightly worn shoes that you no longer use to help support a volunteer we have here that's doing the shoebox recycling to send those shoes to people that are in need of them. So any shoes you have that you're no longer wearing, that are just lightly worn but you just don't wear anymore, please bring those on that day too, because we really do want to try to help him out and make sure we do all we can do there. We have that coming up. We also have a social circle school we're going to be doing a program at, and we're excited about that. And we're also going to be there for the Monroe Kids Fest that's coming up May 10th alongside the farmers market, and we'll be over in the courthouse square. So you guys come on out and see us. We'll be there. And some other things going on here at the recycling center is it is that time of year, and we've been, I know it's time to start cutting grass, and we've had people that's shown up here with hedge trimmings and grass clippings, and we did just want to remind you that we don't accept that here, and all of that stuff will need to go to one of the inert landfills here in the county. So I did just want to remind you guys of that, because this time of year it always happens. When we all start having to cut grass, we're looking for somewhere to get rid of those things, and an inert landfill is where you would do that. Again, I would encourage everyone here, if you're not recycling with someone, you need to do so, and we would be happy to help get you started here. Again, come on out and see us, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Hey, I'm Isaac Rhodes with Reboot Computer Company to give you the Reboot Tech Tip. We're going to talk a little bit today about installing software, and this could be any kind of software really. I know a lot of times when we're on Google and we're looking for little programs or whatever to help us with our computer, with our daily stuff, or we're just trying to do updates or something like that. Or we go to a website and it's like, oh, well, you need to download Java, or you need to download Adobe Reader, or whatever it is. And so what people will do is they'll go to Google and they'll type in download Adobe Reader, and then they'll click on the first thing that they see. And then what happens is you get all these extra programs that come in with it because you've actually gone to the wrong site. So just a little piece of advice: if you go to a website and it's like, well, you need to download Java, go to java.com. It's just www.java.com. Just make sure it's the actual thing that you're downloading. Same thing with Adobe, like Adobe Reader or Adobe Flash. Actually go to Adobe's websites. It's just www.adobe.com. And then this stuff typically, though, that these websites are asking you to download is all free stuff. And so if you're at a place where it's like, well, you need to pay this to get it or whatever, you're definitely in the wrong place. Another thing too, like if you're looking for, a lot of people will try and find some way to play movies, or they want to do something that mixes audio or sound, or do cool stuff with video or whatever. There is a lot of free software out there that does that stuff, but again, you've got to be careful. Make sure you're going to the right website. If you Google something, check the websites out before you actually download it, whatever it is. If you're not sure about it, you can actually Google, is this site reputable, or is this the right site, or whatever, and it'll come up and tell you yes or no. So anyway, just be careful what you download, because if you're getting the wrong thing, you're going to bring in a whole bunch of adware or spyware, and those are just programs that are doing things they're not supposed to be doing. They're not quite as bad as viruses, but they're basically just gathering information from you, and they can mess with your Internet Explorer, or your Google Chrome, or Mozilla Firefox, or whatever. So just be careful, and stay safe. Again, this is Isaac with Reboot Computer Company giving you the Reboot Tech Tip.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson. I'm here with the Recreation Report. This week I have Dennis Malcolm here with us. He actually runs our community centers and also runs some of our outdoor programs. And we have one of our annual events coming up, our annual Fishing Derby and casting contest is coming up here pretty soon. So Dennis, let us know a little bit about what's going on with the casting contest and the fishing derby.
Well, coming up on April 26th, we're going to have our first fishing derby, going to be held at Meridian Park, located in Loganville, Georgia, and also on May the 3rd over in Matthews in Monroe. And what we do is we have a casting contest for the kids, just try to get 3 casts and try to see who can get the highest score. And we also have a largest fish to see, determine who caught the largest fish for the event. And we have 5 different age groups, and that ranges from 4 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 10, 11, 12, and then 13 to adults. So we do have something for the adults as well. And we also give outdoor prizes as well.
Yeah, it's always been a great event. I think we've had somewhere from around 200 to 300. It looks like a lot more than that when they're surrounding the ponds out at Meridian, where we drained the lake, 6-7 years ago, and it's really responded well with DNR every year. Because we do this annual fishing rodeo for kids, DNR comes out and restocks the ponds with fingerling catfish, about 2,000 of them a year. And then we feed them for a good 2 or 3 months, and they grow up, and then we have this contest and the fishing rodeo. There's a lot of fish that are caught out of Meridian Park. Matthews, we have, depending on the weather, I don't know, the last couple of years the weather has kind of been better at the one when we had Meridian, and they didn't catch quite as many. And that pond gets fished a little bit more during the week than Meridian, and maybe that has something to do with it as well. But nonetheless, it's a great turnout. You get to spend it's a good time with your kids. Come out, and then we have all these door prizes that are behind us that we hand out. If you come in, you get tickets, and at the end of the day, we weigh the fish. We look at them and see who wins the contest, and they get a trophy. And then we do a raffle for all these prizes. What are some of the prizes that are handed out, Dennis?
Well, this year some of the prizes we have fish and noodles, fish baskets. We also have some larger fish tackle boxes. We also have a couple of tents this year that we're going to be giving away.
And that's a lot of fun. A lot of people stay the whole time. We'll have a couple of vendors there that will sell hot dogs, things like that, barbecue. That if you get out and you're hungry or thirsty, that you can do that. Do we allow anybody to keep the fish? Those are some of the questions that we get. Can you keep everything you catch, or do you have to throw back? What is the normal procedure?
Yeah, we allow them to keep the fish. If they do want them, some people just come out there and fish for fun.
And that's great. We do want everybody to enjoy the ponds. It is open to the public, and then we have restrictions from here on out. It does open the ponds up to the public certain days. Meridian, I know we have a few days a week that you can fish there, and then pretty much every day you can fish out at Matthews Park. But we do ask you if you're going to keep them to clean them, make sure they're the right size, and keep it to a reasonable limit to the fish that you keep. So I appreciate you coming out and talking about that program. And again, that's something we do annually about this time of year. It's usually the early springtime that we've closed the ponds down throughout the winter, and then we have this annual outdoor program. I also want to remind you about the community centers. They're out there ready for you to use. We've got some new equipment coming in real soon. Dennis is also working hard on getting that new equipment in for everyone to use, thanks to the Walton County Healthcare Foundation for providing that money for us to provide that equipment. So looking forward to that. Also, we have our annual registration coming up for our fall sports. Every year in May, we have our registrations for the fall program, which is our football, cheerleading, fall baseball, softball, and our cheerleading program. And the dates for registration are May 12th through the 17th, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday, we stay open late till 7 p.m. And then Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So get out and register for that. And again, that's May 12th through the 17th. That is our fall registration for all those programs. We're going to do something a little different than the 11 and 12 football program this year. And we'll talk a little bit more about that the next program. What we're trying to instill and trying to get a little bit more participation in the older age groups that will go into the high schools fairly soon. So again, May 12th through the 17th. The cost is around $75 for most of our programs. It's a little cheaper for some of the the real young programs, the 5 and 6 soccer, and the 3 or actually 4-year-old co-ed t-ball. So anyway, get registered. If you want to learn more about our programs, go to waltoncountyga.gov. We have all of our information on our website. So until next time, thank you very much.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of The Health Story. My name is Dee Dee Harris. I'm the Executive Director of Walton Wellness, a nonprofit located here in Walton County dedicated to the prevention of lifestyle-related chronic illness. Each week I like to come to you with some kind of new information that I hope is helpful to you or to someone you love, or introduce some new resource in the community. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about something that probably every one of us do every day, which is sitting. There's just been a lot of new research come out about sitting and how much is too much sitting. We all know that we've all heard the term couch potato, and we've known for years that, you know, just sitting around on the couch watching TV and not ever getting up and doing anything is bad for you. But a lot of us who exercise, we think, oh, well, you know, we exercise on a regular basis. Maybe we go to the gym, maybe we go for a run, and we find out that we are going to work and we're sitting behind a desk, or we're sitting late a lot of hours at night, and we're finding out that even if we do exercise on a regular basis, we can sit too much, and it is really bad for our health. So this notion of, and I've talked about it before on the program about exercising. Yes, exercising is good, and I encourage people to do that, to walk or run or go work out at the gym. But daily activity is almost just as important as just a regular exercise routine. The more active you are throughout the day, the better. And by activity, I don't mean riding your bike or going for a run. I just mean getting up, not sitting. Standing is even better than sitting. Obviously, moving around is much better than just standing. So it is important to those pedometers that maybe you had at one time and counting those steps. That really is important, because it is very important for us, because so many of us do have a job that we sit behind a desk or we use a computer or whatever it may be. It is really important for us to consciously think about getting up and moving around. The research has shown that actually sitting too much is being linked to cardiovascular disease, as well as high cholesterol. Obviously, we know obesity, and several other conditions and diseases. Now, that doesn't mean that sitting too much causes these diseases. There's just a link in showing. Researchers and scientists are still, this is fairly new research, and so they're still trying to figure out what exactly is happening first. It's kind of the old chicken and the egg thing. Which came first? Is it that the subjects that they're studying, is it that they had poor health to start with and that's what caused them to start sitting more? Or did they start sitting more and then they developed a lot of these chronic illnesses? So there's still a lot of research out there that needs to be done to tell us more about just how much is too much sitting. But the little that we do know this far is that it is bad for us to sit. And even if you go for that workout or that run or whatever, you can't just do that and then sit for the rest of the day and think that that exercise will undo all the harm that just sitting there is happening. One of the reasons why sitting is so bad is because it causes our blood to move more sluggishly through our body. It also puts the pressure, of course, on our back and stuff, and our body is not using calories as efficiently as it should be because it's just sitting and not moving around. The more we move, just in daily activity, the better our body will work efficiently at using the calories that we put into our body. So it's definitely food for thought to think about and consciously think about how much you're sitting. Often, most of us don't really know how much we're sitting. It's kind of the same thing as when you start wanting to lose weight and you start tracking how much you're eating. You think when you start, oh, I really am not eating that much. I don't know why I can't lose weight. And then when you really start writing down everything that you're putting in your mouth, you realize, I am eating a little more than I realized. Sitting's kind of the same way. So I encourage you, if you do have a sit-down job,
that maybe for a couple of days you actually start writing down how much you are sitting, so that you can pay a little bit more attention and consciously make the effort to get up and move around more, even if it's in your office. There's all kinds of technological tools these days that help us with this too. If you're interested in that or have the money to spend on that, I suggest that you do a lot of research. There's the Fitbit, Nike has one. There's just a ton of them that typically you can wear them on your wrist, and it'll even track your sleep. But it will track how much activity hours you have during the day and how many sitting hours you have during the day. And so it also has some alarms that you can set that will prompt you to get up and move around a little bit more. So they're a great tool if that is something that you're interested in. I encourage you to go and look at them. I know Walmart here in Monroe sells them, and also in Loganville. And so I encourage you to kind of do your own research and see if that's something that might be valuable to your health. Also, just the old pedometer, which you can get very cheaply, and you can get those at Walmart as well, will help you immensely too, just in tracking your steps and thinking about it. As always, if you have any questions or want more information, you can find us on the web at waltonwellness.org, and all of our contact information is there as well. Thanks for watching.
And thanks a lot for tuning in today. As always, we're going to show you some of the dogs and cats that are available for adoption here at the Walton County Animal Shelter. Just wanted to give a quick word about something that's very important but often overlooked, and that's your annual rabies shots for your pets. You know, we can forget about it in our busy times, but it really is important. Just earlier this week, a raccoon wandered up into a yard here in Walton County, and the family's dog killed the raccoon, and so there's a potential exposure there. We have to send that raccoon off to the CDC for testing, and unfortunately, if it tests positive for rabies, their dog might have to be put down. If not put down, it has to be quarantined for 6 months, which is a very lengthy process. All that could be avoided by a simple vaccine. You know, here in town, there's a lot of places where you can go to get discounted vaccines. Tractor Supply in Monroe is one of them. Twice a month, they have discounted vaccine clinics. There's also vaccine clinics at Boss Brothers and run by some of the local rescue groups. So don't forget about that important shot. A little rabies shot can save a whole lot of trouble and can possibly save your pet's life. And so now we're going to show you some of the dogs and cats that are here at the animal shelter.
We've got Minnie and Daisy here. They are a couple of months old. They are Min Pin and Rat Terrier mixes. Very sweet and loving puppies that need a home fast.
This is Flapjack. He's a coonhound mix. He's about 4 years old. He sees another dog and he's wanting to go play with it. He's excited. He's not neutered. This is what you got to look forward to.
Pit mix male, about 2 years old, very sweet, looking for a good home, and playful.
Friendly little beagle that we've picked up as a stray. So there you go. He'll be looking for a new home if his owners don't come and get him. Real sweet dog. Beagles make great pets. They're small enough they can fit inside a small house or an apartment. So come on down and adopt this little guy. He's only about a year or two old.
This is a male neutered pit mix. He's probably about a year old. He's very nice. He needs a good family and someone to take care of him. He seems to get along with other dogs. And he's already neutered, so you don't have to have him neutered. He's a good home, fast.
Hello, I'm Don Van Sant with Snellville Heating and Air. I'd like to thank you for your support all these years, and I'm pleased to announce that we're adding plumbing to our list of services. Any of our loyal customers in Walton County that uses our plumbing service during the months of April and May will receive a 10% discount. Again, I'm Don Van Sant with Snellville Heating and Air, 770-982-9800.
Lennox is more than just a name. We lead the way in home comfort products. Our invention of the first forced air furnace back in 1895 changed the way America lives.
Snellville Heating and Air is a Lennox Premier dealer.
That means they're trained and evaluated to meet the highest standards in the industry. Lennox continues to lead with high-efficiency technology and superior equipment.
And it's all backed by Snellville Heating and Air.
Some of the best people in the business. Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Do you have a collection of films and videotape sitting in your attic, basement, hall closet, or a box somewhere that are being lost to time? Creative artists can transfer your 8mm, Super 8mm, and 16mm films, as well as converting your VHS, CVHS, 8mm, and mini DV to DVD. Preserve your family's video history for the generations to come. Creative Artists, 1113 West Spring Street, Monroe, 770-267-7368.